Playing games has altogether a different effect on our body and mind. Have you ever thought what these games has effect on our mental health? Is there a way to find this out in a plain, non-invasive manner with no needle prick, no medication? So here is something interesting that we are trying to say today. What game do you like? Hey, as a Bengali, I like to watch football very much. And like cricket, volleyball, football, all involve a physical exertion. We all know that. I don't have to tell you. And even the video games that have become popular so well nowadays. Have you ever thought what these games has effect on our mental health? Like, for example, what if I tell you that there are certain interesting facts which we can analyze with a very, very simple test where we can understand whether a performer has a mental status where he can actually give the team a win or his team loses because of his stress. Say, a captain of a team. So a captain of a team has a lot of pressure. So maybe that person, practices a lot. But on the D-Day, he becomes so stressed that because of him, also the performance gets affected. And because of his stress, as a whole, the team performance goes down and the team loses the game. So here is something interesting that we are trying to say today, and how the sports science has come up in the recent days as an emerging field of research related to mental health and stress-related disorders. So as I was telling you the example of the captain, so there are certain chemicals that comes out when we are at stress or we are frightened or any kind of physical exertion we are doing. So these chemicals are nothing but hormones. So hormones are basically released in our body fluids, and you know that hormones are released in blood. So when you are happy, you are sad, and any athlete, when they are practicing too much or they just run and came and they're thinking about the game, so all this thing has an effect, and all that chemical game that is going inside our body and mind is hormones. So understanding the mental status of a player prior and providing necessary counseling therapy might be very helpful, because in that case, the captain who might have been stressed altogether for many reasons, might get relieved. But is there a way to find this out in a plain, non-invasive manner with no needle prick, no medication? Can we really find out the stress level in an athlete? Hey Rujuta, what do you say? Do you have any information on this?
Yes, definitely. I have something important to share with respect to the non-invasive mode of assessing the stress hormone. As the stress hormone is released in blood, it is also released in the magic biofluid saliva.
You mean to say we have a hormone for stress? Specific hormone?
Yes, we have a specific hormone to measure the stress level of a person, and that is nothing but cortisol. Mm-hmm. This cortisol can be measured in our own saliva. And interestingly, when a person feels stress, this is released in both blood and saliva as well.
Okay.
With this context, I have a very interesting study which has been done by Dr. Manuel Jimenez Lopez from the University of La Rioja, Spain. He assessed the stress hormone, that is cortisol, in the video game players, which is also known as the export players, and he assessed that these levels were increased in the players who were more competitive in playing such video games.
Wow, that's an amazing information, Rujuta, I think. And he does a lot of work in this. And I think he's a very dear person, and he has been a speaker as well in the annual conference that we do on Saliva, that is International Saliva Summit of India. And I think we have been doing this from now almost 4 years.
Sport women and sport men have no problem to do this sample. Saliva is an excellent tool and very useful to be used in professional competition, and we can take very important information about not just their bodies, but what they are thinking and what they are feeling in that important moment.
And thank you for bringing this up, and Rujuta. And I think just imagine the power of saliva. I mean, the words are lost for me, because when somebody comes up and says that you can measure the performance of an athlete, you can measure the stress level. And as I was saying, that if we have this kind of an information, if we have a kind of test available like this, it is amazing, because it actually gives a prediction whether the person is stressed or not, or rather I should put it in this way, that it gives a prediction about the performance of that sports person. And this is so very important to understand and so very useful, because at that point when the athlete is a captain or something, or maybe even a team member, so it's always a teamwork when it comes to sports, and it is where these interventions are required, because maybe just by few sessions of counseling, that person's stress goes down and he becomes more confident, and the winning part, or the shield, or the medal, or the cup is with the team. I think this way you can actually ask your saliva whether, while before playing, whether you're going to lose or win the game. So I think that's pretty interesting. Thank you, Rujuta, for that fantastic information. And I hope all of you like this video. So please subscribe and hit that bell icon. So whenever we come up with interesting things like this, you will be here to listen to us. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.